My name is J.R. Ayman. I own a ranch in the Woodside area. The family has been in this valley over 100 years. At this point in time, I'm also a county commissioner for Ravalli County, and I want to speak on three different things. Number one, I don't think anybody in this room disagrees with the fact that there should be some kind of balance. But the second thing I want to speak about is the fact that the people that are outside the forest end up with the implication and with the putting up with this situation where ungulate populations are forced out of their natural habitat to the detriment of the economy, to the detriment of individuals, because what we don't have in this particular situation is a balance. The third thing is the fact that all of us know in this room, like our forest properties and a number of other things, litigation takes forever. And the people in this room are interested in finding a solution, even if it's not a long-term solution until that gets figured out. That can take years. All of you know, by the facts that have been put out in the past, is that we did put together a program that established a reasonable number in the wolf population. The fact of the matter that's uncontrolled and any new species being reintroduced, we don't have a reasonable way to mitigate that population when it gets out of control. Our resolution by the Ravalli County Commissioners went directly to this. Basically, it supported what both these two gentlemen to my right have espoused, and that's the fact that Montana did have an approved plan. Idaho did have an approved plan. We did all the things that we were supposed to do. And I don't necessarily agree with Judge Malloy, but the fact is, part of his ruling said that you didn't all agree on the same rules, and so I'm taking this whole thing back and we have to start over. But the fact of the matter is, in this particular situation, is that we had an approved plan. We did not do anything wrong. The 10J rule, as written, is specifically for what we're trying to do right now, and that is we've met the criteria, we've done the work, we've proved that our population of ungulates within the national forest and within our surrounding areas has been significantly reduced, and what we're looking for is to use this 10J rule as a get-out-of-jail-free card until everybody else gets on board with what we have already had approved. And the fact of the matter is, when it goes to the legal system, there's no time frame. It's not by Christmas or by next year, it's when we get around to it. And the fact of the matter is, we have a problem right now. We've already played by all the rules, and we do have reasonable grounds for asking to have the 10J rule applied for and granted until this gets worked out at a level that's way beyond my pay as a county commissioner. And so this is not done in a vacuum. There are specific reasons why we're looking to get this done, because, you know, the balance of nature goes back and forth. And we have controls, man-made controls, that were set up through our hunting regulations, through the Wolf Recovery Act, and subsequent season on wolves to help make that balance. We don't have that balance perfect today. You know, it's swung back and forth over a period of years, and it's always been able to be adjusted by Fish and Wildlife and other people involved. But when I know as a rancher, and the people that I talk to say that in every one of these west side canyons, there's a population. And when I'm putting up hay in my field that's less than a half a mile from the river, and I got a wolf jumping 24 feet over double windrows to get across the field, and the deer and the other animals that are there on a regular basis are gone, and if they're forced by fences to stay in a certain area, I mean, they're lined up like buffalo trying to protect something. And so my concern basically is we've done the job, we've provided the research, we do have a 10J rule that says if you have done the work and you have legally answered all the questions, And until it gets handled either on a legislative or on a legal basis, there should be a way to keep that balance as close as we can get it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Floyd Wood. I represent the Friends of the Bitterroot. And right off I want to say that their position is to manage these wolves in a scientific manner. And personally, I think that they could look into the depredation of the mountain lions and the black bears also in this process. And I'd like to see everything brought into balance. The elk and deer have all the elk and deer that the range would provide handily, and that keeps the hunters pretty happy. And I don't have any answers about the problem up there in the mountains because of the ranchers running cattle in the mountains is right up there where the wolves live the most. And so that's the situation that'll have to be dealt with another time, another way. And so as far as the population of wolves go, it's could be determined by some studies and that sort of thing to find out just exactly what they're up against and then deal with it accordingly. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Eric Riley's Montana Farmers Union. We represent over 10,000 farmers and ranchers across the state. We're a nonpartisan, nonprofit association. As well as representing farmers and ranchers, we also work with the Egg Coalition, which is comprised of a bunch of different associations that represent the different factions. We've all worked together on lots of different egg issues. This is one that we've been involved with. I've been involved with it in different areas as well. We have a huge problem with depredation on our livestock. Wildlife Services, that does all the handling of the investigations, does all the depopulating of the wolves that have been in trouble for depredating on livestock. They're the ones that do all the work on the ground for the most part outside of monitoring, but they also do, and they have over the past years done over half of the monitoring, the collaring of the wolves. Their funding has not increased since Wildlife Services, before wolves are introduced, they do all of the other wildlife control work as well, mainly on coyotes that take out the sheep that most people have problems with. They're the sheep ranchers. Since wolves were introduced over 15 years ago, they have not received initially a larger increase in the funding, and they do all the flying work. They work with the Department of Livestock, ranchers, cattle producers, and sheep producers. They pay into a fund of the Department of Livestock, which also funds, their funds are pooled with Wildlife Services, and they're the ones that do the flying. They remove all the predating wolves that are killing livestock. When a producer loses over 120 rams out of his flock in a year, it basically decimates what his ability to continue on in the future is. It ruins him financially. It ruins the community in a sense. So we are willing to work with anyone to find a solution to move forward. We would think some legislation would be appropriate.